Hello, everyone, and welcome into my channel. I am Coach Sherri, and this channel is about workforce development, career readiness, entrepreneurship, real life, real issues, and real talk. As you come in, please be sure to leave a comment in the chat and let me know that you're in the building. I'd love to see who is here. I'm excited about today and the message. So today is day 24 of 60. I am doing a 60-day go live every day challenge. And I'm happy to say I've been rocking with this for 24 days. Now, it takes 6 months for something to become a habit. Some people like to say 21 days, but it definitely is not 21 days because even though I've been going live every day for 24 days, I definitely know that this is not a habit yet. But today's topic is going to be 10 steps to become more assertive. And these are going to be steps that's going to help you, not just you, but I also, as I was going through the information, this is also going to help people who are new parents, people who are teachers or instructors, professors, people who are in relationships, people who lead teams, or even if you are on a team, it definitely is going to help you all around. I find that, especially being a parent, teaching your children how to be assertive at a young age is so important. And it actually benefits them as they get older. I remember my kids, you know how children are when they want to ask you something, if they want to go somewhere or do something, and they come up to you very shy like, and a lot of parents, they coax them on, or like, oh, what do you want, what do you need? I used to tell my children, what is it, like, spit it out, say what you want to say, what you want, and mean what you want. Say it with your back straight, say it with good posture, be confident as you're asking whatever it is. The answer will be yes or no. And I know that has served my children very well because whenever they want something or need something, they know how to confidently and assertively ask for what it is that they want and need. So, again, this is going to be about 10 steps to help you become more assertive. Now, last week, I believe it was last week or the week before, I had did a live on the A to Z guide to personal and professional growth. And I said that as time was going on, I would do each letter individually, with its own live, to do a deeper dive with how you can improve yourself personally and professionally with that guide. And so today we're going over A, which is assertive. So becoming more assertive, and I'm just going to go up here. Becoming more assertive involves developing effective communication skills and confidence building techniques. So, right now, I want you to get your pen and paper ready because there are going to be some valuable notes to be taken down. And again, don't just keep this information to yourself. Share it with others that are in your circle, people that you feel may be coming up short on the assertive side, people that may not have as much confidence and don't really know how to develop it. And I'm hopeful that these steps and these tips will help. So, here are the 10 steps to become more assertive. The first step is to understand assertiveness, understand the differences. You have to understand the differences between assertive, passive aggressive, and aggressive. A lot of people mistaken being assertive as being aggressive or even passive aggressive, but it's not. You have to understand the difference. And assertiveness means expressing your own rights, your own thoughts, beliefs, and feelings in a respectful and confident way. So it's not about disrespecting someone else. It's not about putting someone else down. It's about understanding what your beliefs and values and feelings are and being able to effectively communicate those. And number two is know your rights and values. So you want to understand and believe in your own rights and values. And this understanding will help you confidently express your needs and wants. I've done an exercise about your values. What are your values? I've done that with my team. I've done that with participants in, essential skills training that I've done. And understanding your values is so important, and putting a name to what it is that you value most. You could value time, integrity, compassion, trust. What are some of the things that you value? And when you realize in a situation that your values and your rights are not being met, it's not about being extremely angry about it, but it's about being assertive and standing up for what you value and standing up for what you know is right. The third is practice clear communication. Learn to express your thoughts and feelings clearly and directly. Use the I statements to speak from your perspective without blaming or criticizing others. So it's not about pointing that finger, because again, when you point that finger, that thumb is coming right back at you. It's about really understanding what it is that you want. So you want to use I statements. And then you want to speak from your perspective without blaming or criticizing others. And one of the examples I'm going to use is when you say, I feel frustrated when meetings start late. Now, that is really my frustration, which is why I schedule my meetings when I have team meetings or, just business meetings, whatever the case may be. When I schedule a meeting, I start them on time. I don't care if one person's there, even if no one has shown up yet, I will start my meetings. But now I don't have it where no one shows up. People are there because they understand that, oh, when Sherri has a meeting, it's going to start on time. To me, that's a sign of respect. You respect my time. I respect your time. You respect the fact that I'm going to share with you some valuable information. If I don't have valuable information, I wouldn't have scheduled the meeting. So they know that if I have this meeting, that means there's something good that I'm going to share or important. In turn, people come to my meetings on time. I know a lot of people that go to meetings late. They don't care. They're like, I'll get there when I get there." And that's because the person that is hosting the meeting, they don't respect the time of others. They might start 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late. You know those people where they say, I'm gonna give you about 5 more minutes. I'm gonna give everyone, 10 more minutes. No, if you scheduled it for 10 a.m., then host it at 10 a.m. I look at some lives, and they'll say, nobody's here yet. They are used to having hundreds of people in their lives, and maybe 5 to 10 people are in their lives, but because they're used to so many hundreds of people, they disregard those 5 to 10 people and say, I'm still waiting on more people. Well, there are people already there, or people will see it on the replay. No one wants to wait for you to start because maybe your A1 day one isn't there yet, or you don't have a big enough crowd. No, you still start and you conduct it as if you do have a large crowd. Don't disrespect the ones that did show up on time. And so that's why, too, here on YouTube with my lives, I don't really schedule them because I want to honor everyone's time. And sometimes in the past, I have scheduled lives that I had not been able to keep the time for. That's one of the reasons why I got off Blog Talk Radio, because I had a time slot. And even though I always made my time, it was a struggle. I'm trying to tell you, especially when we were traveling from different places and coming home, my time slot was 9 p.m. on Sunday nights. And it's funny how you schedule a time, because typically you are always around, you always have the time to do it at that time. But when you have it scheduled, all of a sudden you're never available at that time. And so I used to have to rush home, run up to my office and set it up, because with Blog Talk Radio, you have a whole dashboard on your computer, and you're able to navigate your calls. You have commercials you have to play. I used to always have guest speakers, and so I would have to make sure they were connected. I had an intro, a outro, just a whole lot. And it was everything I could not do from my phone. So I had to be already hooked up. And that became very stressful. After 2 years of doing that, it became very stressful. So that's when I started looking more into YouTube. And I was like, I don't have to be so restrictive and, adhere to a particular time. But I do sometimes have scheduled lives, and when I do, I am very intentional. Like, okay, I know I can make it. But again, I always give myself grace. I give other people grace. If you can't make it, I get it. But, when you are talking about a business meeting of sorts and, they have a booked schedule as it is, back to back meetings, you want to honor their time. So you want to also be a clear communicator when it comes to that. I see Delightful Dawn is in the building. Hey, how are you? It's great to see you. Thanks for being here. Oh, I see TCHBCU Queen TV is here. I am doing well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for liking this video. And for those of you that are coming in or watching this on replay or coming in late, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you find the information to your liking. I appreciate that. If you're not already part of this team, I invite you now to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I like everyone is saying hello. Okay. Okay, not a problem, Delightful Dawn. Thank you for being here. All right. So now we're at number 4. I hope you all have your pen and paper as well. So, number 4 is set boundaries. Now, this is so important. You really want to know your limits and communicate these boundaries firmly and respectfully. Setting clear boundaries helps others understand your needs and respects your space. Sometimes people they know their boundaries, but they aren't assertive enough to share it with others. So then they become disgruntled, they become fake and phony. They're smiling in people's faces, but behind their backs, they're grumbling about, oh, I can't believe they did this to me. They see I'm booked and busy. Why would they do that? Well, you have to be assertive and really disclose what your boundaries are to others. Know your bandwidth, you know, and not just your bandwidth. If you have a business, if you have a team, understand the capacity of that team or of your business, and don't overextend beyond that bandwidth. Now, I'm working on a large project with a sizable team, and my piece in the project is pretty substantial, but I also have other projects that I'm working on. Now, the lead consultant of this big project she would love to believe that all I have time for is this particular project. But whenever I'm asked, they'll say, Sherri, when do you think you'll be able to have these deliverables complete? I give them the real date, and I also put a little bit extra on there just in case, something else may pop up that's important, or catastrophe with something else that I'm working on. So I always put a little buffer on my expected due date. And I always again I consider my other projects, and it has to fit in my timeline. Now, it's interesting because you asked me when can I have these deliverables? So when I give it, I'm always amazed at how like, I don't want to say upset, but how they look because, the whole team will look like, wait, that late? Yeah, that late. They aren't always pleased when I give them the dates that I'll have my deliverables. It usually has to shake things up a little bit, like maybe some other things have to be moved around. But for that particular project and what I'm doing, I'm the SME on that part. And I'd rather give them a later date and maybe give it to them a little bit earlier than under promise and tell them, oh yeah, I can have that in 2 days, when really I needed 6 days to do it. And if I can't do it in 2 days, now I'm looking incompetent. I'm looking like I really can't do it, or I don't have I'm not good with my time management. And then they really would feel some kind of way. So I always try to give a realistic timeline line regarding my boundaries versus giving an unrealistic time frame. And that I can't meet. So I know that even though sometimes they feel some kind of way when I give them my deliverable date, they also appreciate it because they know the date that I said I'm going to give them, I'm either going to do it a little before or on that date. They can count on it for sure. And that's what you want to be known for. That's part of your brand. What are you known for? Are you known for being that person that is delivering what they say they will? A person that people understand what your boundaries are. There are people that you deal with in different ways, and that's because of the boundaries they set up for themselves or they don't. And you wonder, like, when someone says, "Oh, they are so disrespectful to me. They just throw anything at me. They call me on the weekends at all hours of the night. They do this or they do that." And then, your experience is completely different. They only contact you during those solid 8 hours during the day. And they don't disturb you on times when it's your personal time. And that's because they respect you because you set your boundaries. Your expectations of how you want to be treated is so important. And that is how you are assertive when you set those types of boundaries. It's very important. All right, let's look at number 5. Number 5 is learn to say no. Saying no is a key part of being assertive. You want to practice saying no without feeling guilty for not accommodating others' requests if they conflict with your interests. I always say, and I know Oprah has said it first, but no is a complete sentence. And it is something you have to learn to be comfortable with. So many people aren't. And what it sounds like when they don't say just straight up no, it sounds like they're straddling the fence. They don't want to ruffle the feathers of one person or another. And that really does not show that you have a strong posture. That is when you straddle the fence and you're unable to say no, that is a weakness. And people sometimes will prey on that and, take advantage of a person that can't say no. Then you'll become frustrated because, again, you'll have those deliverables that you can't meet because you didn't say no. You didn't set up those boundaries. So learn to say no. And for the person that's receiving that no, I know for me, if I receive a no, I don't look at it as a solid no. And even though it is a complete sentence, it could be no period. For me, I look at it as no, not right now. So there's always ways. It may not be for that moment. Maybe if you're talking about change management, then that no is because that organization or those people didn't have enough content or experience, or their mindset is not ready to shift to do that. So don't take a no personal. Just know that, well, you might still have some work to do there and come up with something else. Think again. All right. Number 6 is use assertive body language. And that's how you communicate confidence through your body language. Maintain eye contact, stand tall, and use a calm and clear tone of voice. I also call this check your posture. I always say that, when you have a strong posture, it's not the fact that they can see it, but your posture is so strong and straight. You have that confidence. You know what you know, you're saying what you know with that type of confidence. So when you are thinking about your body language and when you are communicating or receiving information, make sure your posture is straight. Remember they used to always say it with your chest. And that means that a person is saying what they say, they mean what they say. It's no disrespect. It's not about it being aggressive, it's about it being assertive. And again, there is that difference between assertiveness and aggressiveness. All right. Number 7, you want to start small. Start small. So you want to begin practicing assertiveness in less challenging situations to build your confidence. You want to gradually, as you become more comfortable, apply these skills in more challenging contexts. And for me, that goes back to what I was saying that I've done with my children, my young adults, I should say now, but when they were children, how, I would have, that's when they were doing it small. They were starting small. They were young. They weren't asking for anything huge or major per se. Maybe in their world it was, maybe they wanted to go out and get ice cream. Maybe they wanted to go and look at a television show. Maybe they wanted an extra dessert, and as children, oftentimes they are a little shy when they're asking for something else or to do something that was not planned. And they come up to you and they're kind of like timid with it. But starting small is starting young. So at that young age, when my children would come up to us and they would, kind of be tipping around or like and ahhing and maybe do you think, I would stop them right there. Like, what is it that you want? Just say it. Because again, and I said this earlier, the answer is going to be yes or no. And the sooner you understand that there's two answers that you'll get, yes or no, the sooner you'll be able to become more assertive and have more confidence when you receive that yes or no. But you have to come to it in a confident and an assertive way. So you want to start small and you want to be able to build it gradually as you become more comfortable. So just imagine if you would have started with being assertive at a young age, where you would be today. And today, my children are very assertive. They say what they mean and mean what they say. And it's not aggressive, it's not conceited, it's not intimidating. It just is what it is. They know what they want and they say it with confidence. They communicate it exceptionally well. And that's how we all can be. But again, you have to start small. So if you hadn't had that type of experience, I would say, start with the little things. When you want something that's, relatively simple, don't hum and haw, don't baby talk it. Just say it with your chest. Have a strong posture and just say it. All right. Number 8. Number 8 is prepare and rehearse. This is one of my favorites because before before you go into a situation where you need to be assertive, prepare what you want to say. Rehearse it alone or with a friend. And this is what I always say, and I say this often after my videos. This is where you practice. You practice how you play. So you're going to practice what you're going to say so that when you get to the point of being able to actually say it, you say it with confidence. You are assertive with it because you already know what it is. Now, you want to build that muscle, just like in practice, if you play a sport like basketball, you practice shooting foul shots all the time, over and over, because you're building that muscle memory. Well, your brain, you have to build that brain muscle, that memory for, how you're going to say it. Memorize, not memorizing things verbatim, but memorizing what the context of what you want to say. So when you get up to say it or ask the question or present on it, you are able to do it in an assertive way so that people really believe and have confidence in you. And they know, like, you know what, I trust what this person is saying because they really know what they're talking about. But if you don't practice and you just wing it all the time, yeah, you might be able to get away with it here and there. But after a while, you'll be found out because if every single example that you use is the same, no matter what the audience is, they'll realize, you know what? That's like a robotic response. That person just read a script and memorized it. No, this is your own experience. This is who you are. So you want to understand how you want to respond to certain things, what you want to deliver. So you want to prepare and rehearse. Just think, when a athlete is preparing to play in a game, of course they practice all the time because they want to be assertive in the game, and and aggressive in some cases, very aggressive. But in this case, what I'm saying is they want to be assertive and not be afraid and be able to jump high and run fast and hit hard and do all the things, but they practice those. They don't just show up at the game and think they're going to win. No, they practice. A stage actor or a screen actor, they practice and they rehearse, they prepare. So when their scene comes up and is ready to record, which costs a lot of money, and you don't want to have a lot of takes and you don't want to disappoint the audience, they are able to deliver because they understand what they've done and they are assertive with it. All right, let's look at number 9. You want to stay calm and manage your emotions. You want to work on staying calm and composed when expressing yourself. High emotions can cloud clear thinking and communication. Sometimes, when I'm in a high pressure situation that requires my response or input, before I contribute, I literally tell myself to calm down. I'll say, Sherry, all right, calm down. Calm down, just stay calm. And when I say that, I'm able to clear my mind, and I know, like, I have to control my breathing. There's things you can do to stay calm. You may drink some cold water, or you may maybe do a little stretch or roll your ankles around. You may put the fan on, to cool you off because you might be getting a little hot. There's different things that you can do to stay calm, and you need to know what those are. You need to understand what your triggers are, what the signs are that indicate that you're no longer calm, so that when you do respond or have to input your information, that is not in an aggressive way, that it is assertive because you know what you know, but it's not aggressive and off-putting to others. And number 10 is seek feedback and reflect. So, after assertive interactions, you want to reflect on what went well and what could be improved. So, that's where you seek feedback from trusted friends or mentors, and you want to continue to refine your approach. Now, I definitely seek feedback quite often. And what I know is, yes, I might be able to sound calm, respond in a calm manner, but I have to do a better job with checking my face. So, people that really know me that are in my circle, they'll say, yeah, you said it right. You said it very well, but I can tell the way you were looking that you were heated. And so that's something that I'm personally working on, is my face. And I remember growing up, my mother used to always tell me, Sherry, check your face, because my face definitely tells the story. Even though my words, my actions may say one thing, but my face will always be. So I need to, be more mindful of that. And one way that I'm more mindful of checking my face in those situations is it's a line that I got out of one of my daughter's books. Is what she does, and that's just putting a little smile on my face. Just a little smile makes a difference. You will be amazed. It makes you feel better, actually, and it brings your energy up. So whenever I feel like I'm in a situation where this is going to be something else, I really need to be assertive. I need to stand tall, get my posture straight, because I have to, give the business. Um, I'll always start with a small smile on my face, and that really brings me down and grounds me, which is better. And definitely seeking that feedback. That's with anything, especially if you are in a meeting or have done an event or worked on a project. It's communicating with your team or your peers, your colleagues, and debriefing the situation, how everyone handled it. What were some of the pluses? What were some of the deltas? What are the pluses? Would be the things that went well, how you may have shared that information, how you talked about the action steps and outlined it. The deltas would be the things that you might need to change, your approach, your tone, what are some of those things? And, in regards to being assertive, because you don't want to come off as aggressive or even passive aggressive, because some people, when they are extremely aggressive and they're working on that aggression, they think they're being assertive, but they're really being passive aggressive. Because being assertive doesn't mean being soft and nice, but nice nasty. No, it just means that you're standing on what Ti son said, business. You know what you know, and you stand on that. But it's not about it being a passive aggressive. Now, how when you know you're being assertive and you don't mean no harm, you're not trying to have a gotcha moment to anyone, then how some people may receive it, that might be their problem too. But understand that there is a difference between assertiveness, aggressiveness, and definitely passive aggressive. Let me see in the comments. Yes, and my youngest, she is too delightful, Dawn, and it makes a difference how people approach her, how she's received, how she's remembered. And sometimes when I'm in meetings that I'm just like, why am I even here? What is really going on? And I know my face. So as I'm sitting there, as people are just talking nonsensical around me, I'll just start to smile. And in my smile, I'm thinking about happy thoughts. I'm thinking about, things that maybe a joke I've heard or something funny one of my kids may have said. And it's a genuine smile. So, but it definitely lightens the load for me and probably for those around me. Yes, I do too. I believe in speaking life on you. Yes, delightful dawn. Absolutely. What do I define as passive aggressive? Those are those nice nasties, it's the ones where maybe someone is smiling and at the same time they are, cussing you out, but without saying any of the cuss words. They're putting you down. They are saying some underlining meanings, subliminal messages. Those are the ones that if it was a pinch, it would happen under the table. And some of those passive aggressive responses, only certain people catch them, the ones that it's intended for. So that's when other people would say, I don't know what you mean. They seem nice to me, but you know what they did, what they really were saying, so it's those underlying meanings and really not being straightforward. But when you're assertive, you're being straightforward. You're not beating around the bush, but you're not being aggressive. You're not sending out any subliminal messages or things, that people have to decode to try to figure out. So those, passive aggressive is more like that. And sometimes people catch it and sometimes they don't. But the ones who catch it, it was really meant for them. And it doesn't feel good because the person that was passive aggressive really should have been more assertive and forthcoming. And oftentimes, people that are passive aggressive are not forthcoming. They won't say the name. They won't say the situation. They'll talk all around it, and and you'll think like, wow, that's terrible. Who are they talking about? And all along they're talking about you, which is like so crazy to me. So becoming assertive does not happen overnight. It doesn't. It really doesn't. A lot of people would hope that it would happen overnight, but it does not happen overnight. Um, you know, like anything that you're trying to improve, it will take practice. And just like I said, yes, I'm on day 24 of 60. Some people would think at day 21, oh, it's a habit now. This is easy breezy for you. This is what you do. No, it takes at least 6 months for something to become a habit. So if you want to be assertive and you're going into a meeting, you're going to do a presentation, you're going to be on a panel where you have to have that strong posture because you are considered the SME. If you are doing a one-on-one with someone and you have to get something out, you have to be relatively direct with them because they need to do some things differently. You need to practice in your head what is it that you're going to say. Some people write it out. I don't typically, but a lot of people might write it out, script it out, and then read from it. And they may not say it verbatim when it's time for them to step up, but at least they'll have a general idea. But you have to practice, and though that's taking a conscious effort. That's being very intentional. If it was a habit, you wouldn't have to like intentionally think about what it is that you're going to say. Is you just That's just how you talk. That's how you come across. You are assertive. And so again, you have to practice that. When you're trying to improve anything, it takes practice. So you want to review these 10 steps and apply them regularly in your life. Think about in your day to day, where you can become more assertive, where you would like to become more assertive, and pivot on that based on your experiences and feedback from others. Some people may say, why do you let them run over you like that? You should have just let them know. And letting them know doesn't mean that you have to be shy with it, or that you can't just tell them what it is. It's not about being aggressive or passive with it and just letting it happen. No, be assertive and know what you need, um, and definitely communicate that. You're welcome, Dawn. I hope that that helped. All right, everyone. So those are the 10 steps to become more assertive. And if you've missed any of them, I'll do a quick recap so that you can get your pen and paper and take the notes, or you can just watch the replay. I know that, you know, YouTube is like double dutch. Everyone's doing different things. It's the evening, you're winding down. I get it. You might be, rushing to a meeting and just caught the beginning, middle, or end, or you might be preparing for something yourself. But I'm just going to give the recap. The first is understand differences. Two is rights and values. Three is clear communication. Four is set boundaries. Five is say no. Six is body language. Seven is start small. Eight is prepare and rehearse. Nine is stay calm. And 10 is seek feedback. All right. And those are the 10 steps to help you become more assertive. I want you to stay tuned because that was letter A from the A through Z guide to personal and professional growth series. It has been my pleasure sharing with you this evening about the letter A, assertive. And I hope that you tune in the rest of the 60 days and check out more of my content. I am also putting up shorts as well as pre recorded videos. And again, my channel is about workforce development, career readiness, entrepreneurship, real life, real issues, and real talk. It has been my pleasure sharing this with you. Remember, practice so hard every day that when you get into that game and that ball is passed to you, you will take the shot and make it. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that, Dawn. Thank you. All right, everyone. Take care.